Alright, so I'm going to show you guys my method for leveling up secondary characters real quick. There's a bit of setting up involved, but if you're going to do a whole bunch of characters, it actually helps out a lot. Because I went through all the classes for this season, it ended up being a time saver for me, even though it takes a bit of setting up. So what you want to do is you get this gem here, Gem of Ease. You want to level up to 25. The other gem you pretty much must have, Boon of the Hoarder. So every time you kill an enemy, you get a 100% chance to cause an explosion of gold. And you get movement speed out of that too. If you are able to, also level up your Wreath of Lightning, because it just helps out, especially earlier on. So what you do with this one, it's mainly for a weapon. Minimum you've got to do this once. If you've got some more time to spend, I've done it more than once. I've done it. What you can do is you can use this in the cube and reset a item's level requirement to 0, well, to 1. So I've done it and I've used it on this one here. So required level is 1, so I can use it straight away, and it's got a slot where I've rolled a slot into it. It's a legendary gem, so it's going to help a lot too, because I've got extra damage and some intelligence and all that sort of stuff. And obviously the special attribute. So you need to have one of these before you start your new character. And that's so you can use it on a weapon. Now, you can either, because I'm going to do a Necromancer, you can, and as far as I know, a Necromancer can handle any weapon, but I know for a fact that they can use Scythe. Now, if you have legendary, like recipes here, you can use them. I recommend using a couple golds first, just forge a couple of those, because the legendaries that you can forge out of here, they're good, but they're not fantastic. Whereas if you forge a gold and you upgrade it in the cube, you got a chance of actually getting something really good. So, for example, it's a weapon, it's got a special attribute, secondary skills, additional damage, and 2,200 damage. Essentially, the biggest thing you're really concerned with is actually really high damage number. The higher the better, for the purposes of fast leveling. So 2-1, 2-2, let's see what we can get out here. 2-0, okay, so it's pretty much anyone that's worth anything. Probably not even going to use those, because it's not really the attributes that are the necessary thing for this. I'll hold on to that just in case it becomes useful later. It's the damage that really matters, and I've got some weapons lying around that have better damage than that. So that's a monk only weapon, so I won't be able to use that, but this one could probably use a staff. I think they can equip a staff. If they can, that'd be great. 3/7's a huge amount of damage, especially if you're level 1 character. Okay, so once you got your gems ready and you're ready to go, then you create a new character. So, 0 slots. Okay, well, I think Bunny's gonna have to die. Poor Bunny. Alright. Think of a good name for a Necromancer. Give me a sec. I've got this thing at the moment where I'm making all my characters have a German name for this season. That'll do. Sturban. Alright. So, immediately I mean, if you got a whole bunch of Paragon, obviously it helps, but you don't really need it if you've got all the gems and everything. So the highest you can go with a level 1 character is Torment 6, go straight to Adventure Mode, and start the game. There are groups, I should mention, as well, that you can join, and they're specifically for power leveling, and they're fantastic. Like, season power leveling, these guys are great. Unfortunately, because I'm in Australia, most of these guys aren't on when I need to power level, so... But if you're on and I'm in, I'll help you out. Okay, so here, right at the beginning, movement speed is going to be pretty important. So pump that up, and then obviously dump everything else into the main stats. Okay, so she moves around a little bit quicker, which is great. Okay, so immediately you can come over here and see that the only thing I can equip is wherever I left it. There, that ring, level 1. Okay, I've got that gem. Definitely need Boon of the Hoarder. That's the first thing that goes in, it's the most important. Next thing you can do, actually, the very next thing you should do is come over here and you create yourself a Hellfire Amulet, because these actually don't have a level requirement, which is fantastic, and you immediately get your passive. Now, I have no idea what that passive is, because I don't know anything about the Necro at the moment, so it's pretty terrible. But as far as I know, you still get that passive, straight out. As well, you can roll any stats on that Hellfire Amulet. When I did my Witch Doctor, I immediately rolled a Primal, which is fantastic. So you've got a second slot now. So in my second slot, I'm going to throw my Wreath of Lightning. When you get any other piece of jewelry, I'm not sure if these guys sell jewelry or not. I'm not going to bother running too far around. Anyway, next time I'm in an area where I can buy a piece of jewelry. Actually, I'll show you. Actually, I know. Nutrition, I'm pretty sure there's someone in Nutrition. You can actually reroll stats on rare items and the yellow items. Okay. Okay, so nobody here. Don't worry about it. You get the idea though. So anytime you pick up another ring, you can just go to this enchanter over here and roll a socket into it. So as long as it's rare, you can roll it. Okay, so the other important step was to grab one of these. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this thing can hold staff. Gonna risk it. Should be good. Come over to the cube. Move level requirement. Throw that in. Transmute. And I can equip it. Like that. Fantastic. Sell that off because you can't scrap it. At the beginning, it might be easy just to chuck a ruby in there to bump up the damage, because at this point in time it's more important to have high damage. Yeah, until you're actually worrying too much about, you know, actually fighting different enemies and things, then you don't really worry about criticals at this point. You can't use any electric potions until 70. When you get a third slot, you can go for something like go for swiftness. But the next step that's again really important for this, because you have this Boon of the Hoarder, 100% chance of killing the enemy, causing explosion of gold. Come over here, and the piece you're looking for is, if I can find it, it's one of these. Where have I left it? It's somewhere else, apparently. There's a in here somewhere there is a piece of equipment that allows you to gain experience every time you acquire gold. Find it in here, it'd be fantastic. And that's how there it is, picking up gold grants experience. That's what you want. So you put that on. The other stuff, doesn't matter what you put on really. Actually this helps a lot at the start because it pretty much guarantees you one-shot everything in the early stages. I can't remember if there's anything here that's really useful. No, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. If you can increase your movement speed or something, then it's probably pretty useful. But yeah, other than that, it doesn't really matter. So you can choose anything, I suppose. Why not? Grab a follow if you really want, but at this point you really don't need it because you're going to have tons of damage. So you can pretty much now just go straight into Torment 6 Rift and level like a mother. And you'll see this immediately level up ridiculously fast. So it's really useful. And yeah, as you can see, every time I pick up a bit of gold, I'm also getting XP. So it's great. Oh yes, and the other thing I forgot, sorry, was my collection. Grab a pet. Where is he? This one. That's my favorite because he's nice and small and you don't mistake him for a monster. He goes and picks up all the gold for you and your XP jumps up nice and quick. And that's it. So you can continue watching if you want, or you can bugger off, but just remember you still need to be picking up equipment and equipping it because eventually you're going to get monsters that can start actually doing damage to you. Not for a while, but you know, you're still going to want to keep up with some equipment. And that's it. So I'm going to turn off the mic so you don't have to listen to me talk to. Sorry, you don't have to listen to me talk anymore, and you can just stop watching if you want. Okay.
When everyone projects and expects you to listen to them. Make no mistake, I live in a prison that I built myself, it is my religion. And they say that I am the sick boy. Easy to say when you don't take the risk, boy. I understand so much more now. Feed yourself with my life's worth. How many likes is my life worth? Feed yourself on my life's worth. How many likes is my life worth? see you later when I get older. I still remember the smell of your perfume. It hasn't left me since the day you I must be dreaming 'cause I don't believe in ghosts, yeah.
Ratma has blessed me.
I must be dreaming 'cause I don't believe in ghosts, yeah.
Take pride in this. My power has grown. Your death nears. I have trained well given more time. Praise beckons.
Hope to see you later when I get older. I still remember the smell of your perfume. It hasn't
Ratma
left
has
me since
blessed
the
me.
day you made me blue. I think I saw you, but I know I'm not supposed to. I must be dreaming 'cause I don't believe
World divide you no longer.
I must be dreaming 'cause
I have long waited for this moment.
I must be dreaming 'cause I don't believe in ghosts, yeah. I still remember the smell of your perfume. It hasn't left me since the day you made me blue. I think I saw you, but I know I'm not supposed to. I must be dreaming 'cause I don't believe in ghosts.
I have trained well. Weakness consumes
Do
you.
you remember a day in October? The leaves were falling just like me when it was over. One more day of sorrow and I'll struggle to stay sober. Hope to see you later when I get older. I don't wanna hurt you, but I need to hurt you. At the end of it all, you're still my best friend. But there's something